12, First and 4 continues.
A local man went through the worst when he was confirmed to have COVID and almost lost everything.
The doctors pretty much said, we don't know if he's going to make it. His odds are not very good.
Now getting back on his feet is a new challenge. This is Craig Churchill. After his entire family got COVID, he was left taking care of everyone. Now it's his family and doctors working to get him back to normal. Craig was admitted into University Hospital because of how severe his case of COVID was. His oxygen levels dropped, and that's when he stopped breathing in the ICU at University Hospital. He was transferred to AU and put on an ECMO machine. Now that machine helps lungs continue to breathe during failure. Craig spent a record 45 days on an ECMO and is currently in recovery. Doctors say the need for this system is essential right now.
So over the last 2 years, we've seen a very dramatic increase in thousands of patients who have needed ECMO support, particularly for lung infections and more specifically for COVID infections.
Craig will go through extensive physical therapy. His recovery is expected to take months. We'll hear from his wife about how his recovery is coming along on News 12 at 6 o'clock. Well, there are some encouraging data coming out about the Omicron variant, though not enough to end the pandemic tide just yet. Last week, the nation saw its highest number of deaths from COVID in about a year. Michael George breaks down that data.
New daily COVID cases and hospitalizations are down, but deaths are increasing. The weekly average for COVID deaths is nearly 2,200 a day, the highest since last February.
Milder does not mean mild, and we cannot look past the strain on our health systems and substantial number of deaths.
Every ICU bed in Oklahoma City is full, prompting 4 of the largest hospital groups to warn residents in an open letter the Oklahoma City healthcare system is at a breaking point.
Right now, probably 80% of the people that we actually have in the hospital are unvaccinated.
Free tests from the federal government are arriving by mail, and free N95 masks are available at pharmacies across the country.
We remain laser focused on deploying these tools to help protect people and to keep schools and businesses open.
On Wednesday, a nonprofit group handed out more than 3,500 at-home tests for rideshare drivers. Their jobs put them at high risk for exposure.
If I'm getting sick, other people or my passengers should be getting sick. So it's definitely, I need this protection.
Western Michigan University is fining hundreds of unvaccinated students who have skipped the school's mandatory COVID-19 testing. And starting next week, New York City public schools will shorten the isolation period for most students who test positive to 5 days. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
The White House's COVID response coordinator said Wednesday that 70% of all eligible seniors have received a booster shot. Let's take a live look over Grove, Georgia. They have also been trying to put in abortion bills. Right now, they are trying to ban abortion bills sent by mail. A jury is deliberating the fate of a Rock Hill police officer after a controversial video was released showing him performing an aggressive arrest. Former officer Jonathan Moreno is charged with assaulting Travis Price back in June. Police were arresting Price's brother at the scene. When he went to get jewelry from him, he ended up pinned to the ground. Both men testified, with Moreno agreeing to apologize. Now we wait to see what the jury's verdict is. Today marks day 3 of the federal trial of 3 former Minneapolis police officers who were charged with the death of George Floyd. The 3 men face civil rights charges for failing to help Floyd as Derek Chauvin knelt on his neck. No one is allowed to film inside the courtroom. Prosecutors said the officers made a conscious decision not to protect Floyd. Now happening tomorrow,
coming up in just a few minutes. The Richmond County Sheriff's Office needs your help finding this missing teen. Take a look. They say 17-year-old Tamaya Lewis was last seen running down Perimeter Parkway. That is right near the Augusta Exchange. We're told she was wearing a dark-colored jacket, denim capris, and white tennis shoes with rainbows on them. So if you can help deputies find her, call the Sheriff's Office at the number on your screen.
Change is on the way for the Aiken County school system. Right now, the district's working to fine-tune a calendar like the one behind me after voting to move to a year-round schedule for the 2023-2024 school year. News 12 Sloan O'Cone spoke with parents today about how they're preparing, and they found while it's great for some, it puts others in a real bind.
I just see so much benefit for the kids.
be able to make some of that up.
Her daughter was held back because of learning loss during COVID. She says more retention will benefit her and believes more breaks will increase her son's ability to focus, which is normally a chore. But a big district has a lot of different students with different needs.
My daughter's actually special needs. She's autistic. So with her, one of her big challenges is around scheduling. From my perspective, for my reasoning, it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of thing.
Elisa Rich says while routine is everything for her daughter, she believes there are still impacts on other students.
Not to mention, we're not really preparing our kids for real life. I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't get a break for 2 weeks, every 9 weeks or whatever it is.
She's worried about kids' summer jobs, childcare, custody, teachers' second jobs, meals, and more.
I wonder if there's a year that we can change their mind. I don't think they're quite looking through all of the perspectives.
The district says they're taking this next year to figure out the best comprehensive plan for everyone.
Their concerns will be addressed, prior to the implementation of the 23-24 school year calendar. Additional information is coming. Stick with us and be on the lookout for that.
In Aiken, Son O'Cone, on your side.
Yeah, July comes into play with summer ending early. In paper surveys sent home with students, the district says 56% of parents who responded voted yes to the idea of this new calendar. However, that was only 4,100 parents compared to 24,000 students in the county. District leaders they're asking you to help shape this new calendar so it can best benefit everyone, especially students. To Columbia County, where we saw Georgia's Secretary of State in
Well, as we continue on through this evening, we'll be seeing some cooler temperatures by tomorrow morning. Gorgeous skies right now over Grovetown and I-20. Well, the full forecast coming up just after the break.
Also ahead, if you've had COVID, it can get you down for a few days, but this local man's been fighting it for months. We're going to take you along his road to recovery when we come back.
What can I...
It's a marathon, not a sprint. That's how an Augusta wife describes her husband's bounce back from COVID-19. These are photos of Craig Churchill and his family. He's still on the road to recovery tonight after first getting diagnosed 4 months ago, even breaking records at AU Health. Here's News 12's Wrdw to take us along on his journey.
It's been a long 4-month battle for Craig Churchill, where every minute was a battle just to stay alive.
The doctors pretty much said, we don't know if he's going to make it. His odds are not very good.
After catching COVID, he was sent to University Hospital for treatment.
He's only in ICU a short time before he quit breathing.
Doctors say he went into cardiac arrest and had to be resuscitated. From there, he was sent to AU and put on an ECMO machine.
It truly was, in a way, a miracle that he was able to survive after such a long period of ECMO support.
It's designed to help you breathe when your lungs fail. Doctors say it's the longest they've ever seen a patient on one and survive.
Over the last 2 years, we've seen a very dramatic increase in thousands of patients who have needed ECMO support, particularly for lung infections and more specifically for COVID infections.
The road to recovery will take months, and the effects will last even longer.
I've been praying all along for a complete restoration of his health, and I think that's what we're going to get. I think it may take some time to get there, but I think we're on the right track. There's just a lot of joy in watching him do simple things like eat his breakfast and brush his teeth.
Even Craig having the chance to hold his wife's hand again is everything.
Those little things I don't take for granted anymore.
In Augusta, Wrdw on your side.
Craig is currently in Atlanta at Emory, where he's undergoing physical therapy now, relearning all the things to do, like walk and eat. We do wish him the best as he continues this long fight.
Taking the outside now as we look over